This is Story Route Zero, a podcast where friends gather to talk of their travels through the good, the bad, the ugly, the funny, and even the confusing worlds encountered in games. We may not always know where we're going, but that's often half the fun. Do you have a question, comment, concern, or a story of your own? Hit us up on Twitter at storyroute_0. You can email us at storyroute0@gmail.com, and you can find everything we do at storyroute0.com. Let's have a journey. That's the wonderful James Brown and the JBs and Clyde Stubblefield on the drums. My name is Matthew Kiel. This is Story Route Zero, episode number 29. Normally, I come up with some song lyrics that I remember a song and look up the lyrics and be like, oh, I'll use that. Today, we're doing things a little different because we recorded Monday like we normally do, and technical difficulties just crapped all over our show. So we're doing this again. No, don't raise your hand. I don't think that's I don't think it's your fault, Jason. I'm not going to blame you. So now I'm like, you know what? I was listening to Give It Up, Turn It Loose by James Brown on the way home. I'm like, I'm going to find a way to insert that in the show. Why not? And I feel like if I just repeated Give It Up, Turn It Loose like a sex machine, both of you guys would look at me like, I don't know what you're doing, Matt. Also, last week we had Game Club, Mother Russia Bleeds. We did not announce our next Game Club. It is Ghost of Tsushima. I'm kind of just on a high today because I've just been going for a long time. So if I'm stepping all over my words, I apologize. But my name is Matthew Kiel. This is Story Route Zero, episode 29. I have two co-hosts with me and who will hopefully be not too angry with me for keeping them up so late on a Wednesday night. Moose, we're going to start with you. Matt from the South. How you doing?
Good. How are you, man? Doing good.
Well, I had a day. Not a bad day. It was just a lot. That's all. Nothing. I mean, had a couple of gut punches this week, but a couple of good things. But we're taking it in stride. Jason, representing Jersey. You got 100 platinum, son. We're proud of you.
Thank you.
How you feeling?
Good. I'm done trophy hunting forever.
Good. All right.
No,
great.
you're not.
Now, answer the real question. Has Arya finished Super Mario Brothers 1 yet?
No, we've gone back. We've tried World 1. She needs to get it like at least 5 times before we can move on. So we're getting there.
Wait, is that a rule? Is that a rule you've enforced, or like?
Yeah, that's a rule. That's a rule I'm enforcing.
5 times in this house before you move on.
She is not prepared.
Okay. So normally I would do the how was everybody's weekend, but we did that on Monday, and it's 2 days into the week, or 3 days into the week. It's Wednesday, which according to the Flight of the Conchords is the night that we usually make love, but I'm not going to go there. How's your guys' week been?
All right,
good.
so far.
Cool.
Yeah, good so far.
Awesome. I've been trying my hand at the streaming game, so I'm having a lot of fun doing that. Moose got me rehooked on Division. I don't know how that happened, but
I do.
but
that was his goal. That's why he talks about it each week. It had nothing to do with
he's like, you know what? I'm pretty sure Matt's gonna hold fast on not getting back into Animal Crossing. I'm gonna show him how to get exotics in Division.
he just figured even if he doesn't talk about it long, it's just played Division 2. Played some of this.
And then the week, what was your weekly exotic, Moose?
This week?
Yeah.
So for my level 30, it dropped. Gunslinger holster, I think, and then Pestilence dropped on my 40.
Jesus fucking Christ. You know what? I got the fucking Liberty. I was pissed.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just gonna take a couple weeks before you know. Hopefully, it drops. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I got a
it's the
40
law of
Liberty.
statistics. It's like there's only so
Yeah.
many exotics out there, and I have
Yeah.
not seen a double. Although, well, maybe I didn't get. Uh, oh no! I got the shotgun, the one that you got that you really like.
Sweet Dreams.
The Sweet Dreams. Yeah, I got
That's a good
that
shotgun.
twice last week on both characters, and I was like, is it the same for both characters? And because last week was the first time that I redeemed it for both characters. I didn't know it was available to a level 30 as well.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's only available to you if you have the DLC.
Okay.
So I then went and redeemed it this past week and got, not this past week, the week before. The week before that was the 2 shotguns. And then this past week was Gunslinger and Pestilence. And I'm just like I already have Pestilence, but it's nice for me because the resources to farm for it are pretty easy, and then I get an exotic component which allows me to reconfigure the exotic. So I took a chance on my level 30 Pestilence to reconfigure it twice, and I got a better Pestilence, so it works out. So
Okay.
it's good stuff.
All right.
So you just got you said you got the Liberty?
I got the Liberty. Which I already have it, but I have a level 30 Liberty, not a level 40 Liberty. So now I have a level 40 Liberty.
Yeah.
And
well, you like the shotgun, so I just stick with that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I have the shotgun and the coyote mask.
Liberty's not really. If it's not your primary or secondary, it's not worth it anymore to even give a crap about your
holster weapon. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, unless you're you running like a double barrel shotgun,
or if you're always out of bullets.
yeah, like that's your other problem.
So we're gonna play a little fast and loose. We've already kind of got into what we've been playing, but Jason, how does it feel to have 100 platinums?
Pretty good.
Was it kind of, now? Did you? I know that throughout the week. I think this might have been in one of our Facebook chats. You said you were looking for the place to properly get the good photo for the platinum trophy.
Yeah, I messed that up.
Okay.
As you can see at the top for the people watching, that is the screenshot. So, and I actually tested this. There's photo mode. So I had planned to pop into photo mode. And a lot of photo modes in a lot of games, you could set borders and everything. So I had like the Last of Us logo, like it was set that photo mode kind of, and I think most games do it. It saves your state. So if you enter and exit, it remembers where you were. So I had it set up, no character, my character wouldn't appear. So it would be a clean shot. The UI would be missing. So I finished what I was doing, and I know there's always a delay on PlayStation.
Right.
Which, on a side note, I think it was Brian from PS5 Trophies. He had made the suggestion, like maybe they record a 5-second clip every time you get a trophy to get that perfect screenshot, which would be a cool thing. But who knows how much memory that would take every time. Popped into photo mode. Trophy pops. I forgot to take the screenshots. So the game
in photo mode.
In photo mode. So the auto screenshot doesn't include the photo mode elements. Because I have a big fail. Well, I also think the screenshot photos, it takes it immediately as the trophy pops. So there is a delay. There's also a delay on what you're doing.
I think it takes it as soon as the banner comes up.
Right. So you could be doing something. So, but what I wanted to do is take the screenshot as it popped myself to get the photo mode portion. But I messed it up. But it's not like I've taken 99 other quality platinum photos. So it's not like, no, all for nothing.
Well, congratulations to you, sir, on Platinum 100.
Thank you.
I mean, I was really happy that mine ended up being Dark Souls Remastered. And I still remember like the story of how that trophy popped. And I just love the fact that I was able to parry the final boss for the final ending in that game and just bury my sword in his face. Like it was, and it's just like the story leading up to that. And you see my character walk out and all of the, I forget what they're called, but the great serpents or whatever, they all bow before you. So I felt pretty good about that.
It would have been a cool, like, and it's also blurry too but I had an enemy charging at me, so it was like all set up. I'm like, this is perfect.
Now, was it what was the task that you had to do
So
for the final trophy?
And that's why it would have been a cool shot. I had to go into the menu, upgrade my last, purchase the last upgrade, and then exit. So it was a challenge in itself to do it while in combat. That was my goal.
So you can purchase upgrades from the menu. You don't have to be at a workbench or anything?
So weapon upgrades, you have to be at a workbench. There's person upgrades, like you increase your health, you craft faster, you craft more. Those can be done anytime. So I knew that was the last one, and I'm like, this would be cool for The Last of Us to be in combat, and I messed it up.
I mean,
I'll work on it for 200.
There you go. Sometimes you swing at the perfect pitch and you still miss.
But it was nice to get 100 on a exclusive and one of my favorite, probably my, well, we won't say it till the PS5 comes out, but one of my favorite PS4 games.
Okay.
So it was kind of nice.
Cool. So
it would have been cool if number one was Last of Us 1. That would have been a cool.
1 to 100.
Yeah.
1 in 100.
Do you remember what your first platinum was?
Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls on PS3.
Okay. So you just on PS3. Okay. So you
I have it both.
Okay. Moose.
What?
How you doing?
Doing well, man.
What are you playing? What are you playing?
What am I playing?
What was your first platinum? Do you remember?
That's what I'm trying to look up. I can't remember.
Why do I think it was Diablo for you?
I really think it was Diablo 3 on PS4. So while I'm running through that and looking up that, been playing some Astral Train on Switch, which I'm loving.
It was Diablo for Moose.
Yeah, I was just going to say it had to be Diablo because I think it was that Rocket League, and then I think that Rocket League, and then number 3 was I can't think. Never mind. Oh, Helldivers. So and then I was like, well, if I could do Helldivers, man, platinums aren't that hard.
Yeah,
I was half right. Mine was Diablo 3. Moose's was Reaper of Souls. Mine was with pre-expansion. Then I got the platinum with the expansion. Then I got the platinum on the PS4 expansion.
Nice.
I have 3 platinums in the same damn game.
So do I, but mine's sound shapes.
And they weren't sound shapes.
Yeah. Mine was Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, I believe. I think my first 3 were those games.
Probably.
Maybe Infamous was in there somewhere too. But yeah, them games were good. So you've been playing Astral Chain.
Yeah, loving it. It's good. Got some great combat, great puzzle mechanics. Controls are good. I don't see any frame rate issues. I don't know. So looks really good, plays really well. So I recommend it if you're looking for a action game on your Switch. Pick it up. I've been playing that. So I've been playing Resolution, which is an indie game. I'm playing some of that on Switch, which is really good. Still don't kind of know what I'm doing in that game, but I have a feeling like it's one of those where you're just supposed to mess around with it. You'll figure it out as you go along. Really cool art style. Kind of looks like Hyperlight Drifter. So if you like that art style, I recommend it. That's a good
I like
game.
that.
Back in Animal Crossing. Oh! Today, I got a 3-star island. So KK Slider be sliding into them DMs.
He's gonna slide. He's gonna slide into your town square and start dropping beats,
right.
son.
So I'm all
Actually,
right
he's
with
more
that.
like gonna be playing the guitar, but that's cool too.
I'm all right with that. So that's gonna be a good time. I just went to talk to Elizabeth, and Liz was just like, "Oh, you're
Isabel.
You're Isabel. I mean, yeah. Sorry, Isabel." And she's like, the island rating is a level 3," and I'm like, "What? Don't I need a level 3?" And then she's like, "Here's a comment from so and so," and then
KS.
fucking Tom Nook.
Because
Is that KS? That's KK Slider.
Yeah.
And then he just calls up like, "KK Slider, we got your review. Oh yeah, come on over to the island. Motherfucker, why didn't you pick up the phone before?" Like you said, I remember you saying that during when I recorded.
This motherfucker
is sitting over here, has the guy's number. It's like, motherfucker, call him. Just call him and be like, "Come and play at our island." So anyways, so that's coming up. So
I mean,
I'm kind of excited
to
for that.
to a point, I do understand because, like, having hosted podcasts or whatnot, I know people I would love to talk to, and I'm afraid to ask them because I'm afraid of being ignored, and that's my own insecurity.
Right, that's understandable.
Like, Tom Nook and Animal Crossing is a curated experience. Do better. Just saying.
Yeah, like like he seems to be pretty outgoing and whatnot. So it's like he could just reach out, but I do feel like he was trying to get the island to a presentable point, so that could be the thing too. Like he didn't have to play it out. Like, I don't know, maybe he'll come to our island. He could have been like, if we get our, I know I've been watching you I've been buying the KK Slider albums from the Nook machine and putting them on, spinning them on my. He's like, oh, he could have been like, "I see that you've been, buying his albums. I hear if you get a level, a 3-star island, KK Slider might come and visit." And that could have been, the story driving factor behind it. Instead
or not even an "I hear," or just like, "Hey, let's get this to a presentable state." Maybe we send him some pictures of the island. Look at everybody having these good times.
Cameras. He could have could have been like, take pictures. Like write them a message, whatever, and send them like your island's fruit. Be like, send them a peach and be like, "And please enjoy the latest harvest from this land," which is the name of the island. But anyways, so it's gonna be cool getting the terraformer, and enjoying the concert, and then kind of like, I don't know. Well, I know there's gonna be a summer update soon. Yeah. Which I didn't really read into what it's going to be adding because I'm like, I don't want that to spoil anything. So still doing the swimming thing. I need to go swimming at night to catch more night creatures swimming. To be honest, I need to fish at night and I need to catch bugs at night. Like I just play during the day and then that's it. Like I don't like when I don't play when the sun's down. So, because I'm usually at home playing PS4.
Well, I've heard when it gets dark in Moose Land, it's just a dangerous place to be.
Yeah, it is. It is, man. There's people out there knocking people over to get them bells, slinging them bells. But anyway, so playing that, and in 5 seconds, I'm going to tell you that I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima, and yeah, it's good.
Cool.
Done.
Now.
And then on top after that, just more Division 2. So playing a lot of that. So
now. For our Ghost of Tsushima episode, we are going to be back on track with the first week in August. Yes? That's what we're aiming for? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And that's going to be kind of almost like a spoiler cast, too, I guess.
I mean, that's the game club.
That's what the game club is.
That's what the game club is. We just try and go deep on a game for better, for worse.
But I guess, we don't always pick like a current release. So I guess that is why I could say it's also our spoiler cast for it. People can listen to it to talk about the game. But anyways.
Yeah. Not to get into it. I'm fine. The closer I get, I'm not starting that game till this Friday, just because I have a long weekend. I have to stay up all Friday night. I'm actually apprehensive about starting that game. Not because I think it'll be mechanically sound, or not because I think it won't be mechanically sound or fun to play. I'm actually really worried about the presentation of it. Sure, the graphics. I mean, I've seen screenshot after screenshot. It looks beautiful, but like I remember when I started playing Neo, and like I sort of knew the historic trappings of Neo, but I didn't think they would dance across that line as well as they did.
Mm-hmm.
And Team Ninja did a masterful job mixing, the history and fantasy together. But I love Sucker Punch as a studio, but I don't have a whole ton of faith in them to nail that in a good way. And I think once I start playing it, I'll probably be able to better articulate my fears there. But I know that like on Monday, both of you said, yeah, this game is fun. So at least there's that. I'm going to pivot to Jason.
Before I go, I was curious, so I looked up our first 10 platinums for each of us.
Okay.
I was just going to say I'd have to correct Matt. He was wrong on his first platinum, but go ahead, Jason.
Was I wrong?
Moose.
What was it?
Moose's first platinum, Infamous Second Son.
Oh, that was the first one? Okay.
Let's see if we think this is a Moose-like platinum top 10.
Okay.
The first 10. Infamous Second Son, Helldivers, The Walking Dead, the Telltale game, Life is Strange, The Wolf Among Us, Hitman Go. My name is Mayo.
I remember because that was the challenge year where you, Phillips, and I tried to do a contest.
Hitman Go. My name is Mayo. My name is Mayo. Bloodborne, Tales from the Borderlands. So he had 1, 2, 3, 4. He essentially had 4 Telltales. Life is Strange, not really a Telltale, but same
Telltale
concept.
like, yeah.
And 2, my name is Mayo.
Off to a flyer.
Yeah.
What were my first 10?
Matt's 10. Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus.
Okay.
Infamous.
So Sly Cooper was my first. I was right there.
Oh, my bad. It is.
Yeah.
I saw first trophy was the Big Planet. Okay.
Sly 2.
Snappy Dresser.
Okay.
Sly 3.
Mm-hmm.
Trine 2.
Oh, Trine 2 is great. Ico, yeah.
Ico. Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah, that's my hate platinum.
Mod Nation Racers.
Fuck yes.
Infamous 2.
Okay.
And Kingdoms of Amalur.
I had Infamous 2's platinum before I had Infamous first, right?
Yeah, Infamous was your second platinum.
Okay, good. Amalur was
was your 10th.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to get that platinum again.
By any chance, was Infamous one of your free games during the infamous, no pun intended, blackout?
No, I think my free game was Ratchet and Clank All for One.
Oh, okay. I did Infamous and Dead Nation.
When I bought my PS3 and I bought 3 games. I bought I bought Little Big Planet 2, Infamous, and Mod Nation Racers. Those are the 3 games I bought with it.
I think my list is definitely, you would say, yeah, that's about right.
Okay.
Diablo 3, Killzone, Borderlands,
Killzone,
Wolfenstein, New Order.
Wow.
Far Cry Classic, Borderlands 2,
sounds
Under
right.
Defeat, the shoot 'em up.
I don't know what that is.
It's a shoot 'em up, World War II style.
Okay.
Resistance 3.
Okay, you got the Resistance 3 platinum? Good on you, kid. I heard that one was
X-Men Origins Wolverine. and The
That's
Order.
Wow.
I
And
hear
The Order
X-Men
was my
Origins
first.
Wolverine's really good.
The Order was actually my first PlayStation 4 platinum.
Yeah.
The rest were PS3. Yours were all PS3, and
Yeah.
Moose was all PS4.
Yeah.
I remember a buddy of mine came over, and I was in the middle of the game. We were about to watch. We were going to watch a soccer game. My buddy Jordy, and he had found out that I had gotten a PS3, and he wanted to bring over this game that he wanted me to play. He's like, "This is one of the best games. It's like the best game ever, man. It's like my favorite game of all time." And I'm like, "Oh, well, let me finish what I'm doing. I'll take a look." And he's like, "What are you playing?" I'm like, "It's a game called Mod Nation Racers. It's basically like Mario Kart, except you can create everything yourself." He's like, "Man, that's for kids. You need to play this." And he hands me Assassin's Creed 2. And I'm like, "All right, I'll at least try it." And I eventually told him that I couldn't stand that game. He's like, "Finish it." I'm like, "Okay, I'll finish it." And I finished it. I thought it was bullshit. I'm like, "Okay, I don't want to have any arguments with him. I'm gonna get every trophy in this game just so I can show him that I played everything in this." And still fucking hated it. And gave him back his game. Said, "Yeah, keep this."
What's funny about looking at this? What's funny about the Resistance 3 trophy platinum? I did it in 2 days and 7 hours. What I could tell you is, I probably played most of that straight through because that was 8 days after Arya was born. So my guess is
You were up all
I
night.
was up all night, like a few nights, like just walking, like rocking her, and I probably just just loaded that up and just played straight through.
Awesome.
59 trophies in that game. Damn.
So
But yeah,
old games are old. I'm sure you're playing something new other than even Last of Us. That's basically old at this point, right?
yeah, that's old.
That's like what,
That's
3
like
weeks
old
old?
news.
Yeah, 3 weeks old. Who
Yeah,
cares?
yeah. Speaking of Bloodborne, I played Yarntown,
Yeah, you did.
the 2D Bloodborne Legend of Zelda mashup, free on itch.io.
Cool.
It's fun. I mean, this, you can tell it's Bloodborne if you've played it. Like,
Right.
you start out, you're in the clinic, you face the executioner, he's there. You get to the ladder. You light the lamp. You go to the dream. You could roll. You could shoot. I didn't get to any point with the trick weapon, but I'll play more of it. I mean, it's fun. I don't know how far along. Like, I don't know if it's all of Bloodborne or if it stops at some point. I don't know if he's still working on it, the developer.
I think I've seen screenshots from it, and I've seen screenshots of Father Gascoigne.
Okay.
Um,
So I'll keep at it. Obviously, I've been playing Ghost. I have 5 words for it. Visually striking piece of candy.
all right.
More Warcraft.
Cool.
But the big one, Neon Abyss on the
this
Switch.
is a game I've been watching a
This is
delirious amount of.
If Dead Cells and Binding of Isaac had a child, left it in a candy store, and gave it booze.
Yeah, it's good. I fired back up the demo today because what was I doing? Oh, I shut down Animal Crossing. I was like, yes, I've got like a little bit of time before I have to leave. So I was like, well, I'll try this real quick. And so I fired it up and played a couple levels. It wasn't this playthrough wasn't as cool as the first playthrough because I had like cooler guns. So I don't know what's going on with that. But this one I feel was more fun because I didn't feel as powerful. So I was like what's around the next corner? Like piece of candy, like let me go and play a little bit more, try and find a weapon, try and find this. And it is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so you start, it's a platformer, I guess, but I don't want to call it a platformer because there's no like you're in one room. You
Yeah.
clear the room, you move on. Like the platform is not integral to the success of your completion. Like you don't have to platform in a
I mean,
way.
I think it's still a platform. I think that's still a platformer, but like it's just not you don't have to be the most dexterous of platformers to really get through it. This isn't like Super Meat Boy or Rayman Origins or
I would say the platforming is more to not so much to like it's more to get around like Binding of Isaac is two-dimensional like but you're top down like the platforming more serves as just to help you avoid the enemies. I mean there is some treasure but as you go through the game you get abilities that will pick up treasure for you so you might not even have to but you clear a room, there's branching paths, there's teleports, like in Dead Cells you can revisit. What's really cool is when you beat the level boss, the level doesn't end. You can actually exit his room and clean up anything you might have missed, like if you want to. But they also
Binding of Isaac has that too.
They also mark it on the map, like if there's leftover, like if you left a heart piece or a treasure chest or like a mini game, it's marked on the mini map, and you can actually go back to the rooms. And there's various as you go through. Like there will be you need keys to unlock some doors. You need to blow up other doors to get through. They have a cool mechanic where the more violence you cause will open up a portal to a sacrifice room where you sacrifice one of your hearts, but not just like you lose like life, like you actually sacrifice one of the hearts you have. So it becomes
so like if you have 3 heart containers, essentially you're getting rid of 2.
Yeah, I'm not saying like you just lose a heart and you can regain it. Like you actually lose the entire heart. You can get it back like later in the game, like through upgrades, but then it gives you like a powerful upgrade that you choose from. But the good portal just provides you with an item, and the items are ridiculous. Like there's I wrote some down this time. A film magazine, and it says now you know gun fu, and it upgrades your weapon.
Awesome. Awesome.
Toby beef, the best beef ever, and it gives you a heart container. Hot chili, bullets do fire damage. There's a infinite key, so basically any door with a lock you can open without a key just in that level.
So they're really going after Binding of Isaac in this. I mean, not really like I don't really think it's like a thievery but I think it's just like they took the way that Binding of Isaac named their items for like for instance food gives you extra health or things like that. But they're doing like the same sort of thing, and I think it also runs on synergies, which Binding of Isaac does as well.
Yeah, there's a turtle hat, which gives you a chance to block bullets from behind you.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, but like the synergies are the only thing that gets replaced is your weapon. So when you replace your weapon, you don't have the benefits of the other weapon. You collect eggs, which can hatch into sprites, which some sprites will do like, it'll pick up all the hearts for you, or it'll shoot fire bullets. It'll shoot 3 bullets. It has a chance to block bullets. And like, I've had some runs where I have like 20 different sprites, and they follow you. They're not they're passive in the sense that they automatically do what you need to, but you see them. So there's like a trail of them. But then like one run I had a ability where if my sprites touched any bricks, the bricks and the sprites would blow up. Cool. So the sprites follow you. So if you turn quickly, they basically whip around. So you could you could almost use it to your advantage if you wanted to break something, like kind of direct it into it. And some of the sprites have passives where upon death, upon death would drop keys or drop grenades or hearts.
So
Or
your familiars can take damage essentially.
oh yeah, they all have usually up. It's like 6 out of 6 health, like hit points.
Okay.
The zombie sister, anytime she died, she'd split into 2. So at one point, I had like 30 of them. It was absurd.
That's cool. That's a cool.
But the
that's
weapons,
a,
yeah, and it's completely random. Like you start with a simple rifle, like I guess a rifle for back. It's like a single shot, like it just not a single shot, but it's semi-automatic. It just keeps going. But
start out in the middle of nowhere with a pew pew.
yeah, it's random what you get. Like you can get a laser beam or like kind of like Contra. You get like if a machine gun, but then there's like perks like the more shields you have, the faster you shoot, or the less crystals you have, the more damage you do. So like you said, the synergies, it's just they keep going, and it's totally random what you'll get each run. And what's really cool is the seed system. You have a seed on your game, which you can tell anyone, and they can load it up. I'm actually curious if it's cross-platform. Mm-hmm. If the seeds can be used like on Switch and PS4 or PC.
Well, it's
I would think they are.
It's only PC and Switch now. I don't think it's on PS4 yet. The game might in the future.
Oh, okay.
I think
I could see it.
I thought it was.
I don't now. I couldn't. Now I was looking at that and Void Terrarium or Terrarium Void, whatever it's called. I was looking at that and Neon Abyss at the same time. Both those games I want to play. I know one of them is on PS4 and one of them is not. I'm not sure which one is. But
Neon Abyss is on PS4.
Okay.
I was wrong then.
1999.
I do know. I don't know it. Like I know Binding of Isaac, you could do the seed system. I don't know if it's the same seed across like platforms. I kind of assume that it is, but you know what they say about assumption.
Yeah. I've beaten. So every time you go through, you have like you're in basically hell or like the afterlife of some kind. You have to beat a manager of the level essentially. Mm-hmm. I'm on the 3rd set of levels. So so you beat one and you go to the next set, it kicks you back to the beginning. That boss becomes one of the mid bosses. So I'm on the 3rd set. So the 2 end bosses I already faced are level bosses as I go through. They also have the tokens, which I think Binding of it. So it's basically an upgrade. That's what carries over. You can upgrade between runs. And what's cool is when you upgrade, it's usually like you upgrade like an ability that can drop randomly. They give you, it's called a free trial. You will have access to that item immediately. So like one of the upgrades was when you get to half a heart, you have the ability to fly. When you first unlock it, that first run, you automatically have it. So as soon as you get to half a heart, you'll fly. You don't have to pick up the upgrade. Oh, and there's like 12 characters available. 2 from the start, unless you have bought it this week, where you get 2 of the DLC characters. I'm not sure what the cost of them. The characters are in the upgrade system, and it depends on how many bosses. Every time you beat a boss, you get a token. So depending on how far you get. My only complaint is, and tied to the seed system, when you beat the game, you don't know your seed because it kicks you back to the hub world. It doesn't like tell you the seed you had. So it's like if you had a good run.
Does it do it on a pause menu? Because I know Isaac does.
It does. It actually does it on a pause menu and, well, in a non-pause. Like as you're playing, it's in the corner of the screen.
Okay.
Like now I know what when you're at the last boss, so you could essentially pause it before you go into the fight. But like I forgot a couple times. And that's the only complaint. Like, oh, I wish I'd give out that. It was a good run. Like, it was a fun. Like, I'd give out that seed.
Okay. I
There's
looked up the DLC. It says a Lovable Rogues pack is
Yes.
$1.99 on PS4.
Oh, okay. There are stuff I haven't unlocked. There's a broken statue in the beginning. You can't. It just says it's broken. I don't know if that's future content or you have to get to a certain point. But yeah, no, if you enjoy that type of game, I'd highly recommend it. But you have to enjoy that style. I think it's something that you have to keep playing. Like Binding of Isaac, like Dead Cells. It's not something like you beat it and you're done. Like you could, I guess you could beat it and be done with it, but I think that's the fun of it.
Yeah.
Just keep trying like different combinations. So
yeah, and I've always understood like how someone could look at Binding of Isaac and just be turned away just because it seems like you are 100% worthless when you start that game, and so much of progress in it is tied to RNG, but the blessing, well, the wonderful thing and the terrible thing about roguelikes is you need repetition and familiarity, and you can't get familiarity without repetition. And like the cool thing about Isaac is the item pool expands the more bosses you beat, but the item pool is already massive if you've not beaten a boss. So until you know what something like that was in the early days of Binding of Isaac on PS Vita is when I first played it. Like my one real problem is I didn't know what anything did. So like I would do stuff and be like, oh, that's a dud or whatever. But then you never see that dud again, or at least you don't see it for a long enough time that you forgot what it did. And like you guys have played games with me, you know I forget shit all the goddamn time. I mean, Ahmed and I have been playing Souls games for 8 years now, and there will be in a game like Dark Souls 1 that I've beaten multiple times, I will still ask the question. He's like, how the fuck do you not remember that? And it's not that I've never done it. It's just for some reason enough has left my head over the years. So yeah, like when I decided I was going to actually start doing more in Binding of Isaac, like I actually downloaded an app for Binding of Isaac that basically has every item in it, so I could pause the game and go, oh, what does this do, and then make my choice. And it seems like Neon Abyss has that, but does it give you like a description, or is
there's a power up that allows you to see the description, but if you don't have it, but I mean you start. I don't know. I wouldn't compare the sizes. I don't know. Mm-hmm. From what you're saying, I think it's significantly smaller because I've seen repeats. Like I recognize, yeah.
Doesn't feel smaller though.
I've seen like the Infinite Key, the turtle hat. Like I've seen them all. So eventually you start if you can remember them, you see them. But like I said, when you purchase stuff, that adds to it. So yeah. But it's also like I've had runs. The first run I get to the first boss, I have no sprites and I have the same gun. Because the thing with the sprites, the egg doesn't have to hatch anything. Uh-huh. It can hatch and say it's empty, which is like crap. And you're like, what the? But later you get power-ups that if your egg hatches nothing, you'll get like a crystal or a key or a grenade.
Okay.
So it's kind of like give and take
Mhm.
system. But no, you're right. They don't tell you what they do. Like Dead Cells, you could see immediately what the item does. Like the weapon, the shield, the power up. Like there's a description. This doesn't have it. So when you're doing it's only really bad when you do the sacrifice. Then you have no idea. So you're like, is this gonna be bad? Like,
You not pause the game?
you can.
I can see every power up. There's a screen that tells me what every single thing that I've picked up does.
Once you picked it up.
Right. Yeah. But what I was going to say is like Binding of Isaac doesn't even have that.
No, it does not have that.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was going to say, Matt, it's kind of like a meet in the middle. Like you could pick something up and you could be running around and you're like, man, what do my power-ups do? You know what I mean? Because you can't really remember. And then you're able to go in and look and be like, okay, so 2 of the 7 that I have so far are the only negatives I have to worry about, you know? And it's like, when you fall more than two platforms, you take double damage or something like that. You know what I mean? So not even if that is a power up, just throwing something out there.
Yeah, I just meant you don't know till you pick it up.
Yeah, till you pick it up.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of, in Binding of Isaac, like if you pick up, like there's a certain power up, I forget what it's called, but it'll be like this power up and then say poison tears. That's the only time you get that. You can't, and so you have to remember that at some point you picked up poison tears. Now your tears, I believe, turn green, if you're Isaac, or actually I think, or whoever. I think even with Azazel, they turn your laser beam turns green. But like you get that, but then there are certain passive power-ups that don't change your tears at all, so you don't really know what it's done. Now, with Afterbirth and Afterbirth Plus, they added the extended HUD. Now, if you don't turn that on, you're kind of just out there in the wind, guessing. But because if something increases your tier power up, you see that number on the side. I think there are pluses and minuses to both, because I think the beauty of roguelikes a lot of the time is you have to try stuff. And you have to throw the spaghetti at the wall and see if it sticks.
Yeah.
Sometimes you end up with an absolute game-breaking run where all of a sudden all you see is your character in the middle of a screen that is just emanating absolute chaos, but no enemy can get near you. And then sometimes you've picked up 15 power-ups, none of them help you. So, and you still have your base tiers, and you have to go into the bullet hellenest of bullet hells and hope you can survive.
Yeah, sometimes you are the bullet hell. Sometimes you have to survive the bullet hell.
Sometimes you're the bullet hell, and sometimes you are in the bullet hell.
Yeah, I definitely would recommend it if you play on Switch or PC. There is a demo. If you're not familiar with the style of game we've just described, because I think some people who aren't familiar with the style are turned off by the lack of progress in a sense.
But there is progress.
Well,
but it feels like there's not, like if you don't succeed, you feel like you can get like 10 shitty runs in a row.
There are people out there that truly believe that learning something about the game is not progress. So,
but that is what I've been playing.
Cool. Now, Moose, you ran through some things. Anything else on your plate? Okay, I've been playing a lot of Darkest Dungeon.
We know this.
Yes.
We've seen this.
Yes.
I've seen this.
You have popped into my streams, and I thank you for stopping by. I have started streaming again, and I think I am going to basically stream until I'm done with this playthrough. I might stream my Stygian playthrough, but we'll see what shakes out. I miss streaming, and I hope people come by because a lot of my streams have been just me talking to myself. But hey, feel like that's me every day. Um, I have beaten all of the bosses in terms of like the caretaker goals. I still have to do the rest of the darkest dungeon bosses, like the final dungeon. Uh, as of last night, I think I have 2 or 3 characters left to get to 6 in order to check off those caretaker goals, as well as I have to finish the Crimson Court DLC, which I just have to find and kill the Countess, which hopefully that'll be relatively easy. Because I've found that the Crimson Court bosses, the hardest part is getting there. Once you get there, okay. I don't want to just say once you get there, it's cake. But the cool thing about Darkest Dungeon, especially the Crimson Court boss fights, they are in what are called epic missions. And you can do an epic mission, bounce out once all your characters are stressed the hell out, heal them up like by doing other missions around the hamlet, and then go back and you pick up from where you left off. And if you've kind of gotten to the point where you found the boss and you've been fortunate enough to sort of just scout the path ahead, you see the boss room, you could just, the room prior, bounce out, jump right back in, and make a run. And it's that sort of tends to be the run. Tends to be the way that just sort of breaks that boss. The other thing I've been doing of late is trying to get 300 kills in the Color of Madness Endless Harvest. Most recently, I tried it. I got over 150, I believe. At least that's how I remember it. Pretty sure the video on demand will tell us otherwise. But I really like that Endless Harvest. It's just another way to sort of think about that game. And I actually genuinely just like going into a dungeon, whatever level, and just like watching the little chess match and almost rhythm game sort of play out, because the one thing that I've not really figured out about this game is to sort of curate who goes first, like to curate the turn order in my party. I don't know how to do that. I haven't figured that part out. I'm pretty sure once I get to the darkest dungeon, I'm probably gonna need to know that. Because a lot of times I think it's like I think it depends on the actual party members' speed, which I don't know how to fix that other than trinkets. And when I try that, what I do never really shakes out. And I just think I just need to either mess with it more or look it up. I don't know which I'll do, but a couple of times I have gotten into some pretty hairy situations and realized that if turn order were just switched one way, it would be a completely different fight. But I love that game. Red Hook Studio did such a wonderful thing, and I kind of hope the PvP Butcher's Circus that they put out recently comes to console. I could almost understand if it doesn't, though, because I know they're working on the sequel. And I'm actually very interested to see what sort of iterations they'll put on this game, because there's a lot here. And I actually think, and there's probably something to this, and I'm probably inaccurate in a little way, but I think the Jester in this game is the best implementation, or maybe not the best, my favorite implementation of the Bard class in an RPG. because they do a jester with a lute, and they kind of make him like Pete Townsend from The Who without playing loud guitar riffs. Like he has this move called solo, where in his little avatar is him sliding on his knees forward to the front of your party, and he debuffs the people you're fighting. And then if you build it up right, he has a move called finale, where he basically just does a little bow, backs all the way up, and you can target one person from the other party and basically annihilate him. But you can use the rest of his moves to adjust the level of damage and the possibility of a crit. More often than not, I just try to get him doing damage so I can build that up. So I can build up the amount of damage finale will do. But I think it's a fucking cool thing. So cool that I made him the wallpaper to my phone.
Nice.
And it's just him holding out his lute, bowing. It's kind of my happy spot right now.
Nice.
It is Darkest Dungeon is a wonderful thing, and I know I'm probably just boring people by talking about it, but I do love it so much. Luckily, in 2 weeks, I'll be able to spend a lot of time talking about Ghost of Tsushima. So I think unless anybody else has anything to add, playing anything else.
Oh.
Okay. So do we want to just cap it there, or do we want to shoot the shit for a little bit, or?
No, we can cap it.
Okay. I mean, because I know it's a little later for you guys than we normally end, so if we want to cap it there, Moose, take us out.
Bye.
Story Route Zero, we have some cool friends who do some cool things, and I'd like to tell you about them. Phoenix Overdrive uses the power of games and gamers to help heal sick kids through the charity Extra Life. Phoenix Overdrive fundraises for Children's Miracle Network hospitals all year, every year, and the fun culminates in a 24-hour gaming marathon. Find out more about their events and projects online via Facebook at facebook.com/Phoenix Overdrive or on Twitter and Instagram at PHX_Overdrive. You can also join the Facebook group of Pawn Stars at facebook.com/groups/PO Nation in order to share and discuss all the latest in nerd culture. They've also got a podcast, Nerd Overdrive, which you can see weekly at youtube.com/Phoenix Overdrive. You can also catch it on Facebook Live or twitch.tv/PHX_Overdrive. That podcast is also published on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher. You want merch? They got merch. Merch can be ordered from tinyurl.com/PHXOD merch, a portion of which goes to their fundraising efforts. Join the nation and be a hero to sick kids, as El Capitan Rey Osorio, Lee the Maestro, and Becky, the lovely queen of the guild, always say, #Rise Above. This has been an episode of Story Route Zero. Thank you for coming along on this journey. We sincerely hope you enjoyed yourself as much as we enjoyed having you. Once again, you can find everything we do at StoryRoute0.com. Hit us up on Twitter at StoryRoute_0, or you can email us at StoryRoute0@gmail.com. If you'd like to hit us up individually anywhere, you can find Moose at Sven, that's SVHENN, everywhere on social media. That's PSN, that's Twitter, that's Instagram. You can also find him on Twitch, streaming games. You can find Jason Marshall at GimpyJ, with 2 Y's at the end. That's Twitter, that's Instagram, that's Twitch, and he also has a website called whereisthepausebutton.com. Captain Canada is the only Story Route Zero exclusive. He's the only one you can only find right here on the show. As for me, I'm infinite_rewind everywhere I'd like to be. That's Twitter, that's Instagram, that's PSN, and Twitch. I also have my own website, infiniterewind.com, where I do all sorts of weird writing and rambling. Check us out at all the places. And remember, you are always welcome, and you will always have a seat waiting for you on this ride. But for now, it's back to the real world for us. We will see you on the next one.